Now comes the time in our program where we become all ears for the wisdom that's about to be shared with us. The guest speaker this evening certainly is by no means a stranger to us. We've heard him speak several times. In fact, it's his prose in being able to talk to a crowd impromptu that he was only asked 5 minutes before the graduation supper to be our guest speaker. My friend and twin, I call him twin because we share the same birthday, Angus McLean.
Well, it was only notes. If you ever get the feeling you got your cut with your pants down, I certainly did this evening. But I always try to rise to the occasion to try to do my best. And certainly it was a privilege and an honor to be even considered as a guest speaker, and I will try my best to do justice to our very honored guests. Elders, honorable graduates, chief and council, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. When I first came here, it said TBA. I had an old copy. Special guest speaker to TBA needs to be announced. I certainly found out, I guess I was one of the first ones to find that out. And Jackie came over to ask me, and I was very privileged to try to do this little number for you. The topic I'm going to be speaking on is going to be a raw thing because I'm going to have to take it off from the top of my head. I'm not here either not my intention to offend anyone. I will try to speak on my experiences. So if there's anything sour that I might say, it's only something that might have happened to me in my experience in child rearing. I certainly have tried to give it my best hand, but each passing day, it's been a learning experience being a parent, and it certainly had my trying times bringing up my children to be a credit to the community, and I'm sure you've had all that experience also, because it's not easy. First of all, if you want to preach to your children, you have to live that life, because then how do we as parents expect our children to in fact follow in our footsteps and in fact follow the advice that we give them? Certainly a delicate area, a delicate situation that we always find ourselves in as parents. But this evening, I certainly congratulate my fellow parents in achieving and in fact getting their children to pass grade 12, certainly a milestone in their lives. And I'll say this one thing to the students. Each milestone that you will be achieving, whether it's in education or in the job place, when you get promotions or graduating from post-secondary, college, universities, you have it. You always somehow seem to broaden that highway to in fact make improvements in your own lives and also make a better living, a better standard of living for those our grandchildren that are going to be coming. We love you so much. And this is my second trip. My second child has been graduating. My first experience was a very trying and moving experience because I see my little boy graduating and the fears I guess all of us parents see. The trying times we had to try and make a living for our children. Now they're reaching and stepping into adult life. At times, it's a very, very difficult and also trying times out there that our babies are in fact going to be facing. I know my fellow parents are going to try their hand at making it and cushioning those falls, as you will certainly realize some. And knowing how to get up after a little tumble and going and getting up again and doing it just a little differently. I have to congratulate the students, and I speak the experience I have with my kids. They have to be something special, because at times, as parents, haven't made it all that easy because of the difficult past we've had. I know they're going to be successful. I know they're going to do well. A little further to the students, for the route that lays ahead for you. We want the best thing for you. There is one parent that's here today, I'm sure, that don't want the best for their children. We want you to have a good life. We want you to respond as a responsible citizen of the James Smith Band when you do come back and help. When I was the chief of this band, I've always lacked the knowledge and the know-how to get the work that needed to be done. You young people, the opportunity is there for you now to go out there and get educated and in fact pick up wisdom and the know-how in how the white world around us operates. And we will be your elders to guide you, and I hope we will be credible elders when you do come back to help us. Because I don't think there is one person in this room that don't want to work. Everybody wants a job. And we as citizens of this band, the responsibility is ours to help our chief and council the best way we know how. Even if it's in a small way, I'm sure your chief and council are going to respond to be grateful. And they'll also pay us back with good, hard dedication to the role that we have given them here as private citizens. I will touch on Indian government for briefly. Indian government, as you know, is coming. And we've got to prepare ourselves for that very thing. Because if we continue continue to rely on the Department of Indian Affairs to in fact look after our day-to-day existence, because that's basically what it is. We've made very well with the existence, with that existence, with the direction we've went in the last few years. Indian government means not only the good things as our Chief and Council is going to be looking at, not only the pretty things, but Indian government means that we're going to have to deal with the good, the bad, the ugly situations, the ugly things that are going to happen to us, not only from the perspective of the federal government, the provincial government, but those communities that surround us that seem to want to choke the very lifestyle that we try to attain for ourselves. We have to be strong. We have to be consistent on basically what we want, my friends. There isn't any one time that we're going to be finished with our work. It's here today, it's going to be still here 400 years from now. And hopefully, and I say hopefully, that this world is going to be able to handle the present and the future of our societies in this world. I hope that we will be able to start to plan. When we go to planning, that we don't only plan for next year, but as far as 400 years from now. How is it going to really look like? How is James Smith going to look like even 100 years from now? We've got to come to grips with how it's going to be like when our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and it's what we're going to be doing today, and how we're going to approach the future today. It's going to have an effect on how it's going to be like in our future. I went to the an indigenous language conference. I just accidentally went to it here yesterday. I listened to some powerful speakers on the importance of a language. As you all are well aware, maybe the Cree language, my friends, is not necessarily going to bring us dollars in our pockets, but it is in fact going to be the direct result of our future. It's not going to put money in your pocket, but it's going to be our future. Indian government, in regards to international law, if we're going to be building a nation, because the Cree nation consists of a whole raft of Cree reserves in and around Canada, and we're going to be part of that Cree nation. But we need our language. We've already got a territory, we already got a population, and we need a language, and there's a couple of other elements that we need to make sure that our grandfathers, we're not going to let down our grandfathers that signed the treaty. Those are some of the key ingredients that we have to maintain. Let's not make a mockery of our language. Let's retain it. We've lost a great deal of it already. One of the speakers yesterday indicated, reiterating one of the elders' remarks. One language is good. You can survive with one language. But you can learn that much more with two languages, and that will make you even a more credible person if you could retain two languages. It was said so eloquently, I hope I've done some justice to that statement that I heard yesterday. The power of language. I'm going to give you a little example of what they were talking about when we talk about language. The English language is basically a noun language, is what they were talking about, and I could relate to what that means. And it also a stern language. When you analyze the fact that when you take a look at our Cree language, it's a moving language. And in fact, it's a live language. Because it's something like singing. You can in fact go around the corners in this language where you come to abrupt and stern sudden finishes with the English language. It's basically what they were saying. But we've got to be grateful for one thing in regards to the English language. Those different nations that was meeting, the indigenous nations of North America and Saskatoon, wouldn't have been able to communicate if it weren't for the English language. So we've got to be grateful for that. It gave us a forum. So it is my opinion that was a godsend, and we should be grateful for that. Now I'm going to finish up with a little story. And I think we can all relate to that as parents. Sometimes we go overboard on what we really want our young people to be. It's a story about a great chief and his son. He wanted great things for his son. He wanted his son to be a great chief also. As a result, he brought him storytellers and the best medicine men that the country had to offer to try and get wisdom into this young man at a very early age. He always hoped that his son would be the best. He'd even be better than him. He wanted his son to be the best storyteller, the best medicine man, the best chief the world has ever known. So when it came down to the age level where the young man had to go to fast, he had to go learn a song. And he brought the best medicine men, the best storytellers, and the best possible leaders from the country to come to this festivity and see his son to fast. All the preparation and all the paint was put on this young man while he was put out to the lodge. The first day moved along. This young son, after being checked after the first day, didn't have his song yet. The second day rolled around. After they checked him over, he still didn't have his song. The third day rolled around. He still didn't have his song. The fourth day rolled around. He still didn't have his song. The elders at this point were getting very, very worried about the young man. And the chief said, no, he's my son and he's going to do it. So it went on, the chief got his way. The fifth day rolled along, no song yet. Sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth day rolled along, and there was still no song. The elders took it, and the storytellers and the medicine men went to the chief and said, maybe it's not his time. maybe he's got to grow up a little more. He's got to be given the opportunity. When he's ready, then the song will come. The chief argued that he's my son. He can do it. And he's gonna have this song. Well, the 11th day, and finally that 12th day, the leaders, the storytellers, and the medicine man finally got the chief to go out there to check on his son. When he got to the lodge, there was nobody around. So he looked around through the bushes. No son. Called out, there was no son. But there was a little bird that was hopping around there, flying short distances. And it was staying behind the chief. And finally, after yelling and looking around for the longest time, he turned to this little bird and looked at him. The little bird talked with him. And he says, "Dad, I'm your son. I was your son. The spirits came to me and pitied me, and they made me into a robin. Dad, you wanted me to be like you. You wanted me to be whatever you wanted me to be, but you never asked me what I want to be." And I think that's where I'll end my little presentation, and I hope, my dear friends, keep your children going to school. I hope that there won't be one child in James Smith that will never fail this thing here, and I hope the best for them. What we have to do, I'd like to share you a little experience I've had a couple of weeks ago, and I think we can all use that to our best advantage. It certainly was a moving experience for me. I've had my difficulty with my son. Not me, but he had difficulty with his father. I couldn't be reached. I was too damn big and important for my son. He had to get awful pissed off, and finally had the courage to stand up to me and say, "Dad, we're having a problem." I took my sweet grass and my tobacco, and I sat my family around the table, and we talked about our problem. And it was a good experience. All my family sat around, and we discussed all our problems. My kids never knew I loved them until they heard me say that in front of the other members in my family. Maybe we don't do that often enough. Thank you very much.